There's a new mid-size three-row Lexus SUV in town, and it's called the TX. It should appeal to shoppers who want a roomy and comfortable crossover SUV that's great for family duty. It's based on the similarly new Toyota Grand Highlander, but gets a much classier cabin and more available luxury features. Lexus also sells its GX and LX three-row SUVs. Compared to them, the TX is roomier, easier to drive, and less expensive. It also gets better fuel economy thanks to available hybrid and plug-in hybrid powertrains. Edmunds Spotlight, space and fuel efficiency are top attributes. This is the first Lexus SUV that can comfortably carry adults in its third-row seat. In addition, the TX's cargo capacity is genuinely impressive. Fold down the second and third-row seats and you'll have 97 cubic feet of space available, which is competitive with some full-size luxury SUVs. Last but not least, you can get a powerful hybrid drivetrain in the TX500h or a plug-in hybrid powertrain in the TX550h+. It took Lexus some time to get this recipe right, but the new TX is dressed and equipped to impress. Competitors to consider Acura's MDX has long been a popular pick for a luxury three-row SUV. It's not quite as roomy or fuel-efficient as the TX, but can be pretty enjoyable to drive in its sporty Type S version. We also recommend the Audi Q7, though its design is getting pretty dated. If you're shopping for plug-in hybrids, the Volvo XC90 is the best alternative. Among this group, the new TX easily impresses. Check back soon for our test team's complete report. Edmunds expert rating, the Lexus TX550h+ is impressively family-friendly. It offers fantastic passenger space in all three rows and lots of cargo space. Unfortunately, Lexus focused a bit too much on practicality and neglected to give the TX the premium design or driving experience necessary to justify its price tag. Performance. How does the TX drive? We tested the TX550h+, which is the plug-in hybrid version. In our testing, the big TX accelerated from 0 to 60 mph in 5.7 seconds, which is quick though ultimately pretty average for a luxury SUV. Nor is the TX isn't an athlete in the corners. The SUV feels its size and has a suspension that favors comfort over sport. This makes for a body roll-filled experience anytime you take a turn with some vigor. The good news is that the TX is an absolute peach during daily driving. It behaves exactly how you want it to, with an easygoing powertrain that switches between gas and electric modes without making a fuss. Technology. How's the tech? The 14-inch touchscreen is crisp-looking and has easy-to-read graphics and quick responses. But the somewhat confusing on-screen menus could use some refinement. Our TX test vehicle also had the upgraded Mark Levinson audio system. Normally, we love these systems in Lexus vehicles, but this one was a bit of a disappointment for overall audio quality. The speaker placement, especially in the rear, feels off. Wireless smartphone connectivity is standard, but, strangely enough, navigation is not. After the free trial expires, Lexus charges a fee, every 2 years at the time of writing, to continue the cloud-based service. We had a few issues with connecting to the cloud-based system, even in populated Southern California. The TX does have a decent voice command system, but it's too slow to respond for what it can do. The TX comes standard with Lexus's Safety System Plus 3.0, which includes pretty much every advanced driver aid you'd expect. In our testing, we found that they worked generally well. Sometimes they were a little slow to react or issue warnings. Comfort. How comfortable is the TX? Overall, the TX is a very comfortable SUV for long-distance drives. Our test vehicle had seat heating and ventilation functions for both the front seats and outboard second-row seats. The climate control system works quickly and effectively, even offering 3 levels with the auto function. We also like the smooth ride of the TX550h+. It has an adaptive suspension that makes driving over bumps no problem. Noise and vibration levels are about what you'd expect for a luxury SUV, with things mostly quiet, especially when the TX550h+ is driving in electric mode. Interior. How's the interior? The Lexus TX's cabin is more functional than it is pretty. There is space for a full family to take over all 3 rows, with easy access to the back seats, via the available captain's chairs or with a button push to slide the middle row forward. Visibility for the driver is excellent with no major blind spots getting in the way. Lexus uses a lot of touchscreen-based controls for the climate system, which makes operation more complicated than just having a set of regular buttons. We also found some of the buttons on the steering wheel troublesome to use as they are unlabeled. On our test car, equipped with the head-up display, it was also difficult to see anything going on when wearing sunglasses. Storage. How's the storage? Even with all 3 rows of seats in place, the TX still has 20.2 cubic feet of space for groceries or small suitcases, especially with the back seats pushed upright instead of reclined. Space improves to a generous 97 cubes when you fold down the 3rd row, which can be done with a quick push of a button. There are cubbies in the 3rd row that can hold an iPad, and each passenger gets multiple cup holder options. Installing a car seat in the TX should be an easy process with easy-to-find latch points on the 2 outboard seats. The SUV's not-too-tall ride height and wide-opening rear doors also help to make loading in a seat less of a headache. Fuel economy. How's the fuel economy? In our testing, the TX550h Plus plug-in hybrid, which is what we tested, provided 31 miles of all-electric range, or 2 miles short of its EPA estimate. After the battery went flat, the TX did an average of 29 mpg. For reference, the EPA says you can expect 27 mpg combined from the TX500h regular hybrid or 23 mpg combined from the TX350. Value. Is the TX a good value? The plug-in hybrid TX550h Plus is considerably more expensive than the base TX350. It's also typically more expensive than plug-in versions of the Mercedes-Benz GLE and BMW X5, though the TX has more space than either of those. We were unimpressed by the material quality throughout the TX's interior. It's filled with generic-looking dark plastics and soft-touch materials, without any emphasis on design or detail. Put another way, it's far too similar to the less expensive Toyota Grand Highlander that it shares a platform with. Wildcard. There's nothing about the TX that stands out above its competitors, apart from the excellent passenger space that it offers. If you're looking for a family-friendly luxury SUV, this one nails it. Unfortunately, Lexus didn't upgrade the TX enough from its Grand Highlander roots. It's lacking exciting design and kind of personality from behind the wheel. Which TX does Edmunds recommend? To ensure good value and the quiet, comfortable ride you seek in a Lexus, we recommend the TX500h F Sport Performance Premium. It's a big price jump from a comparable TX350 Premium, but you'll likely appreciate this version's extra power, higher fuel economy, and sharper handling over the long term. Lexus TX models. The 2024 Lexus TX is a 3-row midsize SUV that can carry up to 7 people. The model lineup includes the TX350, TX500h F Sport Performance, and TX550h Plus. The main difference between them is what kind of powertrain you get with each one. The TX350 has a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, while the 500h F Sport Performance is a hybrid version with more power and better fuel economy. The TX500h Plus is a plug-in hybrid and serves as the most powerful and expensive TX. Keep reading for our rundown of the TX's most significant features and options.